Today we're at one of my favourite places that we visit for Farm to Fork. We've been here every year, and one of the people we visit regularly is Ange. And we've cooked some really fun stuff here at this beautiful property. Today we're cooking right in front of Stella's Kitchen, which is your lovely restaurant here at Montague. It's one of my favourite places. I mean, it looks out over the Pick Your Own orchard. I think it's a perfect place to cook a delicious dish. What do you reckon?
Oh, absolutely. And it's so great to have you here and the team from Farm to Fork. It's a pleasure.
We love coming here, and we love what you guys do at Montague. I think we'll make a really nice summery plum jam, perfect for things like, you know, scones or crumpets. I love crumpets with jam on it. But you could also use it as a base for a marinade too. So it has a lot of options for it. Now these plums, the Montague tree plums, they're absolutely beautiful. I mean, bright red and super juicy. Talk to us about this brand and why they're the best to eat and to cook with.
So the Montague tree plums are really delicious, but they're grown to certain sweetness and sizes that makes them extra delicious, more so than normal plums. So the brix needs to be a certain level, which means sugars, and they come from beautiful sunny regions such as Kattunga, Swan Hill and Shepparton, and we grow them ourselves and also work with like-minded growers.
I think what makes them perfect for me for this recipe is that because they've got so much sugar and so much flavour in them already, you don't have to add too much more to them. You can just sort of add some stuff to really sort of heighten their flavour and their beauty, and you're going to get such a lovely colour. So, I mean, for me, if you buy a premium ingredient to make a premium product, and that's what you want to do, and that's why we love the Montague tree plums. So, into our pot here, and I'm going to turn the heat on. We want to go nice and high, and I'm going to add in some sugar as well.
Sure.
And we've got 600 grams of plums to about 200 grams of sugar, so it's not as much sugar as you'd have to add if it wasn't such a sweet plum. But the joy of the Montague tree plums is they're super sweet. They're picked for their sweetness, so we're not going to have a lovely flavour in our jam. Now, Andrew, I haven't added any liquid to my plums at this stage because we're going to pull all that beautiful juice out of them. It's going to be the base flavour for our jam. And you can see already they're starting to sweat down and release that beautiful pink liquid into our jam. Now, what are the important points for you guys to grow these beautiful plums? What do you have to do throughout the year to make sure they're delicious and beautiful for our customers?
Well, our growers work year-round throughout the season. Currently, we're in harvest, so all our beautiful plums are being hand-picked.
I love that.
And then throughout the season, we're either pruning or grafting new trees and really working hard with sustainability in mind. So, you know, with the various challenges that our growers and, you know, our own orchards are faced with, from climate, pest control, bird control as well, we're always working to, you know, sort of beat the birds to it, so to speak, with the fruit. But sustainability is certainly a real core passion of ours at Montague. So we have a sustainability committee, and we've got a number of projects that we're working on, and we recognise that, you know, we've been here 75 years growing on the same land, but we've still got small steps to take. So working towards zero net emissions and, you know, various projects that will help reduce our footprint, essentially.
I like that because it means that you're going to be growing plums here for another 75 years, if not longer.
Hopefully.
You know, as long as you beat those birds. I mean, I think it's a good test of quality. If the birds are coming to try and steal your plums, you know they're good plums. It must be quite a fun race. And I love that they're hand-picked. I think that shows the quality of the Montague tree plums, that they're hand-picked. So someone from the start to the finish is going, right, that's a perfect plum. And then when you get to your supermarket, you can go, oh, there's a perfect plum. It's kind of a nice story and a nice way of producing such a beautiful product.
It is, yeah, and really, you know, they're sort of treated like berries. So, you know, they're hand-picked, they're carefully transported to the supermarkets and put in trays, not like apples, which are a bit more robust. So, you know, really, best way to store them is your fruit bowl at home.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I'd avoid storing them in the fridge myself.
Okay.
We always say fruit bowl is best for a couple of days, and if they get soft, we can make some beautiful jam.
Exactly right. And you can see here, as we talked about, no liquid, just beautiful juice coming out of those lovely Montague tree plums and that lovely colour. I mean, that's going to be a stunning coloured jam. And I like what you said that, you know, treat them like berries. I think plums are a great substitute for a berry if you want something a bit different. Things like jam's great, but also for your breakfast, some chopped up plum on top of a granola or some oats is a really great way to start your day, as well as just, you know, making a beautiful plum jam. Some cinnamon, again, Christmas pudding flavour. and then some star anise as well. You can play around with a few other things, cloves and stuff like that, but for me, those three are the keys to making a really nice plum jam.
Nice.
Beautiful juice coming out of those lovely Montague tree plums and that lovely colour. I mean, that's going to be a stunning coloured jam. And I like what you said that, you know, treat them like berries. I think plums are a great substitute for a berry if you want something a bit different.
Yeah.
Things like jam's great, but also for your breakfast, some chopped up plum on top of a granola or some oats is a really great way to start your day. As well as just, you know, yeah, making a beautiful plum jam. Now, as you can see, all that liquid's cooked out. That beautiful red colour is going to be a beautiful base colour for our jam. Now, obviously, me being a bit chefy, I have to add a couple extra things. So, some salt just to balance the flavour. Salt and sugar, really important. Here's my little extra tip. I've got some coconut rum here.
Coconut rum.
Coconut and plum don't just sound similar, they go really well together.
Summer.
You know, exactly right, summer. I'm thinking plum pina colada sort of thing now. But and that little bit of coconut goes really well with the plums and just adds that sort of, that nice nutty sweetness you get from coconut. You're going to cook out all that alcohol, so kids can have this as well, it's fine. You're just going to cook it down, so it's not going to be a problem. Now, just for some aromatic flavours, I've got a couple of extra things here. So I've got some orange peel. Again, orange and plum go really well together. Think Christmas pudding, plum and orange in there. Some cinnamon, again, Christmas pudding flavour. And then some star anise as well. You can play around with a few other things, cloves and stuff like that, but for me, those three are the keys to making a really nice plum jam.
Nice.
And then I've got a little trick, because I don't like to add any extra pectin if I don't have to, and pectin's what sets our jam. So, a couple of slices or wedges of lemon in a little bouquet garni, which is just simply a little chuck's cloth.
Sure.
That's a fancy word for a chuck's cloth tied up so that the lemon doesn't fall out. And I just want the pectin to come out and cook out. I don't want any of the pith or any of the rind, because we know that goes a little bit bitter. And just tie it up in a little parcel like so, a couple of times. And this can go in and sit in our jam and release its pectin, a little bit of that lemon flavour as well, but it's going to help the jam set. That's the key to this little step. And it means you don't have to try and fish out bits of rind, or you're not going to lose any rind into that jam. So that can just sort of nestle in there and tuck in.
Okay.
You can use cheesecloth as well.
Yeah. So it's not going to overpower it.
No.
With the lemon sort of bits.
Exactly right. So you pull out that rind, you don't get any of the bitterness. The only bit of rind flavour we're really going to get is from that orange, but the pectin's going to cook out. Now, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit, so probably just like a medium-high heat.
Okay.
I want this to cook down and bubble for about 15, 20 minutes. I like a little bit of plum texture, so I want a few pieces of plum. I don't want it to fully cook down into like a jelly. So just keep watching it, and as it'll cook down, it'll thicken up slightly, and then we can come back and I'll show you how to jar up our jam, and we can talk delicious things to eat with jam.
Excellent.
So, and our jam has been cooking down for about 20 minutes. You can see we've still got some nice chunks of plum, but it's thickened up a lot. And I've taken our bouquet garni or our chuck's cloth with that lemon out and just thrown that away. That's done its work. It's going to help our jam set. I actually like to leave the cinnamon and the orange zest and the star anise in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're spreading on your toast, you don't eat it, but it just looks nice in the jar.
Yes.
And now it's just a simple matter of spooning this into a sterilised jar really carefully. So I've got a plate underneath in case any drips.
Okay.
But just carefully fill our sterilised jar. Now, I like to hot fill it because it keeps the sterilised jar sterilised, nice and clean and sterile. And then I can put the lid on, set it, and keep it in the pantry till I want to use it. And then once I open it, I can still keep it in the pantry because it's going to be nice and safe. Now, and this jam will last year round once you make it, but what's the best time of year for plums?
So plums come into season end of November throughout December and then run through until March. So we've got a few different varieties under the Montague tree.
Yep.
So we do change over. You might see some colour differences from, you know, the bright red to almost like an amber, but definitely the Montague tree plums are sweet and delicious from those months.
Any plum with that sticker on it, you know is a beautiful sweet plum that's been hand-picked.
That's right.
Perfect for this jam.
Grown.
Yep. Perfect for eating, chucking in a lunchbox, but also great for cooking with too.
That's right.
Beautiful. Well, I reckon we've done a good job here. Do you want to chuck the lid on? And that's our jam ready.
Thank you.
Lid on. I'll just give it a little tidy up if there's any on there. And there you have it. Look at that beautiful jar of jam. I like the chunks through there. You can see the bits of the orange zest. The cinnamon's in there as well. I mean, that makes me really happy. Spread that on some toast.
Delicious.
Scones, even a cake with some layers of jam in between to be absolutely perfect. And there we have a beautiful jar of jam starring the Montague tree plums that are perfect right now. And it means you can make these in summer when they're beautiful, ripe and plump. We've got jam year round, which we absolutely love. And for me, Ange, I think this is a perfect representation of exactly what you guys do here. Beautiful, sweet, delicious plum jam. Thank you so much for coming and cooking with me. We love hanging out here. You guys do such a beautiful job.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks so much for coming.